the Flyers coming the other way. Brink, Gostisbehere hustles to get back. Now it's dropped free. Zegras with it. He'll try to get it across. What a play by Gostisbehere. Can't clear. Kept in by Drysdale. Now it's not free.
Two outstanding plays from Gostisbehere, closing off the rush and then selling out, leaving his feet.
He'll play it back. Aho muscles around Brink. Aho back for Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere to Aho. They kept it in. 25 seconds left. Jarvis. Aho with it. Aho leaves it for Gostisbehere. Back to Aho. Shooting spot for Jarvis. Seth Jarvis wins it in overtime.
Wow. Hi, everyone. It's the Canes Corner podcast. I am Adam Gold. Thank you very much for spending some time with us. I am at Lenovo Center where, man, I saw some things tonight that make you laugh, might make you cry. But in the end, it's 2 points, and the Hurricanes are 2-0 on the season. And what do you say? You can't go 82-0 without first going 2-0, though the Hurricanes did try very hard to go 1-0-1 this evening. We're brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. If it is for the exterior of your home, you can find it at the Aluminum Company of North Carolina on Hamlin Road in Durham. No place like it. Sammy Henner's crew do a great job, and you should check them out. I did. They'll be at my house on Monday. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Getting stuff done. All right, well, there's a lot we can talk about in this game. There were some very good performances tonight. There were some very sketchy, that's as far as we'll go, performances tonight. But I'm going to start with, I think, the most alarming part of this game for me. And frankly, I was a little surprised it didn't come up in the postgame. I'm not downstairs, so I can't ask. But I will ask this question. Is anybody alarmed that Jaccob Slavin didn't play the last 3 minutes of regulation, didn't play in overtime, played just 16:48 in the game? Keandre Miller played almost 10 minutes more than Jaccob Slavin. Sean Walker played 23 minutes. Jaccob Slavin played 16:48. Shane Gostisbehere played more than 20 minutes. Jaccob Slavin played 16:48. I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. We know that Jaccob Slavin came into the season dealing with something with his knee, left knee, I think, and he didn't play a preseason game. But he was ready to go for game one. I thought played well in game one. Tonight, he was last in terms of ice time among defensemen, 16:48. And this is what I know. However many overtimes the Hurricanes have played under Rod Brind'Amour, barring a stretch where Slavin was out for 7 games, I believe Jaccob Slavin has been on the ice at the beginning of overtime every single time. 100% of the games that Slavin has played that have gone to overtime, he has started on the ice. Matter of fact, last year and the year before and the year before that and the year before that, though I think I went back too many years before that, because it was always the same 3 that started overtime. Staal in the faceoff circle with Slavin and Burns. The last 3 years. To the point where some fans were questioning Rod's sanity. Staal's out there to win the draw. He's the best faceoff guy on the team. Let Staal win the draw. Let him get off the ice. Let Aho get on. Sometimes Slavin and Burns would stay out there. They were both very good in overtime. But more often than not, Slavin would go off or Burns would go off and Natchez would come on. Well, Natchez is no longer here. Or Jarvis would come on. Well, tonight, to start overtime, we had Staal, we had Sean Walker, and we had K'Andre Miller. Staal won the draw. He went off. Walker went off. Aho and Jarvis jumped on along with K'Andre. By the way, we are going to love K'Andre Miller for the next 8 years. We are going to love him. He is going to be another Brady Shea. He is. He played a ton tonight. 25-56 of ice time for K'Andre Miller. I thought he was excellent tonight. It was my player of the game. I thought Jackson Blake was great tonight. Staal, Martinook, Carrier were awesome tonight. I thought Stankoven was good. We're going to have to explain to certain players how to play the overtime. After the initial burst, Aho, Jarvis, Miller, there was a severe lack of attention to detail in managing the puck. Way too many times Carolina just didn't value possession. Overtime hockey, 3-on-3 is a possession game. You don't even have to shoot it. You can wait it out and just have the puck for 5 minutes. And when you shoot it, you have to have a chance to score. On that, you must be in a shooting position because you may never get it back. 3-on-3 are scoring chances waiting to happen. And I was very, very surprised at how careless, how reckless Carolina was with the puck. And then I can't remember whenever this happened, so let's hear it.
Zegras with it, and he lays it off. Sanheim gets it through Brink, empty net, and they score. Frederick Anderson saying no.
I think when Sanheim collided with Anderson, there might have been some contact here.
And we have the decision. Kelly Sutherland with the call.
After video review from the Situation Room, it's determined there was goaltender interference by number 6 Philadelphia. There's no goal.
What? The Hurricanes challenged for goaltender interference and won the challenge? In this economy? Stunning. Anyway, it gave them the reprieve that they needed. Aho, Jarvis, and Gostisbehere came on the ice and put the bonus point in Carolina's column. Seth Jarvis said after the game, wasn't our best. That top line wasn't any good to me tonight. They got beat. I'm trying to think. I think they were going up against the Zegras line. I guess Christian Dvorak was the center on that line. I'll have to go and check. It doesn't really matter. They just weren't very good. There was no second place. Statistically speaking, Stankoven, Blake, and Svechnikov were really good tonight, but I think they were good in burst. Like I'm running the risk of needing of Jackson Blake needing a restraining order out on me, because I thought he was outstanding tonight. I thought Stankoven was good. He was great in the faceoff circle. Thought he was good. I didn't think he was great. And they're going to need more from Andrei Svechnikov. I didn't think Andre played very well at all tonight. And he was part of the problem in overtime, too. So tonight, they beat the Flyers 4-3 without much from Aho, Jarvis, Ehlers, Andre. Carolina's not going to win many games if those four guys are not among their best players. They're just not. I guess you can get away with it against Philly, but real quick, I kind of think Philly was good tonight. I liked Philly tonight. I love the way they played. They're tenacious. I thought they competed beautifully tonight. It's a good game for them. And they're good. They have talent. They really do. This was never going to be easy. But Carolina didn't get anything out of the first period. Had 3 power plays. They wasted all 3 of them. And then you give up the fluke power play goal right at the end of the period. And you're trailing the game 1-0. Now, it didn't take them long to get even. Stankoven gets the goal. Blake makes the play. Oh, my gosh. What a toe drag duck into the middle to get off. Wasn't a great shot, but it didn't have to be. Because the rebound created the easy goal by Stankoven. And then keep an eye on Robinson and Hall. Those 2 guys are playing. Kotkaniemi was good tonight. I didn't think, Jesperi doesn't have to do a ton to be an effective player. Big body, win your faceoffs, play in the defensive end, and those guys will be effective. They should have a huge advantage. They're big. It's a big line. KK, Hall, and Robinson. Robinson's the small one at 6'1", 200. But that line should be good. There's speed, there's scoring ability, there's physicality. Just stick with it. And Rod talked about it. Got to get those guys more time. I like the fact that KK killed penalties tonight and busted his rear end. Good for him. Good for him. Again, I said it after game 1, even though apparently people didn't hear me. I thought that line was outstanding in the first period. Just didn't play a lot after that. But you keep playing well, and Rod's going to throw it out there, especially on a night where the top guys don't have it. And they didn't have it tonight, I didn't think. And apparently the head coach agreed. Although when push comes to shove, your best players, and Aho and Jarvis are the best forwards, they're going to get every opportunity to work their way out of it. You don't pinch hit for Aaron Judge if he's 0 for 4, right? He's still the best. Send him out there. So that's the way Rod's going to be with Aho and Jarvis, but they didn't play it. I mean, in an overtime game, you would have expected to see them both up into, 21, 22 minutes, and we definitely did not see that tonight. I'll tell you exactly how much they played right here. Aho played 20-35, which is good, but he played more than that in regulation against New Jersey. Jarvis, again, 20-50, and played more than that in regulation against New Jersey. To me, the stories tonight were Jackson Blake's play. I thought Miller was great. Man, did I like Shane Gostisbehere tonight. And I think Alexander Nikishin continues to be a very good player, even though he is not getting a ton of ice time. In fact, he had exactly the same amount of ice time as Jaccob Slavin tonight. So Nikishin had an assist and 4 hits tonight. A couple of shots on goal. He had a blocked shot. Good for him. You know, Rod is clearly kind of protecting him and guarding the matchups. But I think that Gostisbehere has played so well with him. I think Carolina's in pretty good shape right there. And eventually, Nikishin will be ready for a big step forward. But let me just mention it one more time. I do think the fact that Slavin played almost 10 minutes less than Miller is something to definitely keep an eye on. Definitely to keep an eye on. Let me just run through a couple of things before we duck out of here. And unfortunately, we're not gonna do shout outs tonight. We'll get to it in the wee hours of the morning on Tuesday when the Hurricanes are in San Jose. And I asked this question on Twitter during the game. Is anybody tired of me talking about Jackson Blake? And I don't think people are. And I thought it was a very good game again from Jackson. I didn't think it was perfect. I thought he made some mistakes. I thought he could have been better in the defensive end, and that's really what Carolina did poorly tonight. And we'll get to it here in a second. But Blake creates the Stankoven goal. And he creates it because he is a creative player. Aho has that. I wouldn't call Jarvis a creative player. I would call Jarvis a great player. But I don't think he's got crafty offensive creativity. I think Sebastian does. I want to see more from Ehlers. I think Ehlers does. But Jackson Blake, I keep using this. His offensive game reminds me of Teuvo Teravainen. Everybody that played with Teravainen, you better be ready for the pass. But here's what I think Blake does significantly better than Teuvo did, even at Teuvo's best. Blake keeps the puck. He gets the puck back. And on the goal, I mean, I don't think it's easy to do what he did to get the shot away. And again, it wasn't a great shot, and he had an opportunity on the power play from the slot with a quick shot that didn't go. He'll eventually start finishing. At some point, these pucks are going to go, and I think you're going to see Jackson Blake down the road. And who knows when it's going to be. And by the way, dude threw hands tonight. It was called roughing because I don't believe either guy really ended up in true fistfight mode. But Jackson Blake was ready to go tonight. I appreciate that out of Jackson. Had a couple of hits. He had the assist. He had 9 shot attempts, 6 on goal. But Blake, just being able to get the shot off, created the goal. Stankoven brought the puck in. But Blake really made the play. And I mentioned it before, but Robinson and Hall, second game in a row combining for a goal. This one goes the other way. It goes Hall's way. Robinson with the steal. All right. And Robinson's creating that goal for Taylor Hall. It came at the end of a sequence where it was pretty frustrating to watch. And this was just me watching the game. And I thought Carolina, and this is really across the board, I really think that this was a problem for the team, the entire team tonight. Way too often in the defensive zone, without necessarily being pressured. I thought Carolina was trying to pass the puck out of the zone, and it just wasn't working. They kept losing possession of the puck, whether it's in the zone or just into the neutral zone where Philly could reload really quickly. I was screaming in the press box. I would have been embarrassing if I was on press row. I'll be totally honest. But I'm sitting in the radio booth by myself, other than Chris Morris was here. He was producing on site tonight. But it's just me in the booth. And if I was on press row, I mean, they would have come and got me. Because I just couldn't believe how many times Carolina would, rather than carry the puck to safety, they would just try to pass it out of the zone, sometimes blindly backhanded, and it doesn't get out. And I'm trying to think if it led to a goal or not. I'm not sure it did. Actually, no, it did. The goal that made it 2-1. The 2-1 goal was a play that just didn't get out of the zone. I think that was Nikishin who tried to pass the puck up the wall, and it didn't get out. Carry the puck. He could have carried it. He could have carried it up the ice a little bit. And I just thought Carolina was guilty of that all night. And it was I think it was one of those games where sometimes you're just thinking, it's subconscious, that, this team isn't that good. Philly's probably going to finish 7th in the Metro, or not. And we don't have to be completely 100% attention to detail tonight. And maybe that's unfair, and it certainly wasn't. It's never an effort thing with this team, but I think sometimes you can try to get away with it. And they didn't get away with it tonight. But ultimately they did because they got the 2 points. But there were plays to be made, pucks to get out of the zone that didn't. And it is noticeable that the top line was on the ice again for the goal that tied the game, the Travis Sanheim goal, which was a great shot. Freddie has no chance on the shot. Such a quick release, and he was in the high slot. And there were bodies in between Sanheim and Anderson. Either way. I mean, if he makes the save, you just shake your head. It's just one of those plays that you make the save, it's like, oh my gosh, can you believe it? So, do I think that he could have had the Brink shot? Yeah, I do. I think the second goal, the one that made it 2-1, I think Freddie can stop that. And hopefully Anderson will, just get 5% better between now. I mean, going to need him on this road trip. Going to have to rely on Freddie. If I'm not mistaken, San Jose, you're on the road. You can lose to anybody. I mean, heck, you can lose at home to anybody. San Jose, the Kings, who are struggling early, but I think they believe they're a Stanley Cup contender, and they are good. Then you go to Anaheim, who I think is going to challenge for a playoff spot in the West. I actually pick them to make the playoffs in the West, but I think they're good, and they're young, and they're fearless. And from there, they go to, I think it's Vegas, Colorado, and Dallas. I think it's that's the order. What a trip. What a trip. Going to need better from Freddie, and we'll probably see Brandon Bussey on the road trip. Pyotr Kochetkov, they say, is going to miss at least a week. That was what they said earlier today. So the Hurricanes will play 3 times in the week, and they're not even sure Kochetkov is going to go on the trip. Now, there are no back-to-backs, so we'll probably see Freddie at least 4, probably 5 times on the trip. I think you'll see Freddie play in San Jose. If you're going to play Bussey, I'd play him in San Jose, but I think you'll see Freddie in San Jose and LA, and then maybe Bussey in Anaheim. Just a hunch. And then, because again, there are no back-to-backs, Freddie could theoretically do the rest of the road trip. And then Carolina gets back to Lenovo Center on the 28th. That'll be the next home game. That's 17 days from today. Hurricanes will play 6 times before they play another home game. But again, for me, the number one story tonight is the fact that Jaccob Slavin didn't play the last 3 minutes of regulation and didn't play in overtime. The good thing, if there is a good thing, it's super early in the season. And since we have no idea what's going on, no idea at all, let's just speculate just a hair and say Slavin is lost for a month. Maybe he has to have a minor knee procedure. Again, we have no clue. Okay. But let's say the Hurricanes are without him for a month. Let's say they're without him for 2 months. It's terrible. But they can overcome this because I do believe that Miller, Chatfield, Gostisbehere the way he's playing now, Walker, who was better tonight than he was in game 1. I thought he struggled in game 1. I thought he was better tonight. But I've been impressed with Alexander Nikishin. And I'm not suggesting for a second that Nikishin is ready to play in your top 4. He is not. But I thought Nikishin has been very good in both games. And I look forward to him taking yet another step. This road trip's going to be tough on him. Very tough on him. But I look forward to what's coming, I think, in the not too distant future. We haven't seen the physicality. I know he had, 4 hits? Did he have 4 hits tonight? Something like that. We haven't seen a ton of physicality from him in so far. I mean, he's got his hits, but we haven't seen, mean Nikishin. But I think we've seen surprisingly good Nikishin early on. And I look forward to that continuing. And who knows, he might have to play a little bit more. But Carolina's got a right shot defenseman in the minor leagues right now. And you've always got Mike Riley. And I think Riley's a good player. And I think he will be fine for Carolina in a 7D role. But I've also always said this. If any of their top defensemen are going to be out for an extended period, I just don't know that Riley is your best option to cover extended periods. I think Riley is your best option to cover a week, a game, 2 games. I think if you're going to go, if it ultimately ends up being where, and again, we're 100% speculating here, if Jaccob is going to be out for any extended period. And again, we don't even know what the extent of any injury is because nobody asked about it. I am efforting some information, but nobody asked about it. But again, it just the data tells us something is up. Because Jaccob Slavin, doesn't ever play 16 and a half minutes. It was 16:48. And I can't remember the last time Slavin didn't start in overtime. And he wasn't on the ice. So keep an eye on that. That'll do it for us. Hey, I don't want to make this a negative. The Hurricane, I guess I did. I mean, because the Hurricanes were sloppy with the puck, didn't value possession, blah, blah, blah. But they won because they've got great players. And when we head on this road trip, Carolina's great players got to act like it. Brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. If it is for the exterior of your home, you can find it at the Aluminum Company of North Carolina on Hamlin Road in Durham. No place like it. Sammy Hand and his crew do a great job. And wait a second, because I still can't believe what I heard.
And we have the decision. Kelly Sutherland with the call.
After video review from the Situation Room, it's determined there was goaltender interference by number 6, Philadelphia. They have no goal.
What? That happened. And Carolina took advantage. All right, I'll see everybody Tuesday night. Download, subscribe, rate, review. Let everybody know what you think. Canes Corner Podcast, always live here on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search Canes Corner Podcast. You'll find us. And then if you subscribe, it just shows up automatically. Don't make me scold you again. We'll see everybody Tuesday night here on the Canes Corner Podcast. Good night.